Hi everybody. I've been thinking about agnosticism, and I've also been drinking, so that's good, isn't it? Now, as we all know, I'm a bit critical of Richard Dawkins. I've made criticisms of him in the past. But one thing that I agree with him about is something he mentions in The God Delusion about agnosticism, and he distinguishes between PAP and TAP agnosticism. PAP stands for perpetual agnosticism in principle, and TAP stands for temporary agnosticism in practice. And the difference between PAP and TAP agnosticism is PAP agnostics are those agnostics you meet who perpetually insist that we can't know if there's a God or not. They insist that this is the case. They're the sort of people, if you ever say anything about, if you ever casually mention there's no God, or they'll be like, they'll say, you don't know that for sure, you can't know that for sure, and they'll assert this incessantly, not realising that by continually leaping out of their seat and saying, you don't know that for sure, you don't know that for sure, you don't know that for sure, they're actually asserting a knowledge claim themselves. They're claiming to know what you know, or know what you don't know, or know what you can know, or know what you can't know. They're almost, creating a fundamentalism of their own. They seem to be like Gnostic agnostics, if that makes any sense, or they seem to think because they don't know, everyone else must not know either. They seem to think they have that kind of knowledge of what everyone else must have knowledge of, which I don't think is something they've considered. I don't think that they've realised how they're kind of pulling the rug from under their own logic. How they're not being consistent with their own logic. Then your TAP agnostics. These are the temporary agnostics in practice. Now, these are people who believe that there is a God or there isn't a God. There's either one or the other, but they haven't made up their mind yet. These are the people who are genuinely on a bit of a journey. They're genuinely weighing up all the different arguments, considering them all, and maybe they're faltering one way or the other, but they're hoping to eventually reach a conclusion. They may not actually reach that conclusion, but they're open to the idea that they will. So their agnosticism is essentially temporary. If they think about the issue enough, listen to all the different arguments, and apply reasoning to the arguments, eventually they will reach a conclusion one way or the other. I think most people, if they're an atheist who used to be a theist, or a theist who used to be an atheist, they probably went through a phase of TAP agnosticism, I should expect. A phase of reconsidering the way they look at the world. I find TAP agnosticism a lot more agreeable than PAP agnosticism, for reasons that are hopefully obvious. I've no problem with the fact that someone is considering something or taking their time to reach a conclusion. I fully encourage that, but with PAP agnosticism, I will have a lot more respect for it when these PAP agnostics leap out of their seat and say, you don't know that for sure, at every claim that they ever hear. Not just ones regarding gods, or regarding the paranormal, or regarding the supernatural, because that's the only thing that ever seems to get them on edge. They only seem to insist on being this pedantic about what people know, or what people can claim to know, rather than just strongly suspect when it comes to that particular area. When these people leap out of their seats and say, you don't know that for sure, if I say, yeah, my friend's just nipped to the shops, I don't know that he has, he could have gone somewhere else. But when they start leaping out of their seats and criticising me for not knowing that, and saying that I only believe that I can't know for sure, I will have a bit more respect for this kind of PAP agnosticism when it's applied evenly to everything. When it's not just applied to things that get certain people's back up, i.e. belief in gods, or belief in whatever supernatural voodoo that people are into. So that I think they will become more annoying people in a way, but at least they'll be consistently annoying. They'll be annoying everyone who makes claims, not just people who make claims about God's